Visually Impaired Program Retirement 2016, Almansor Court, June 11th. Ruth, you're 1 in a million.
Ruth, if you'd come sit, please. And then we have a service award for Debbie, 22 years of service. Judith?
Oh, that's awesome.
I'll do Ruth's service award at the beginning, and then we're going to sing. So we'll sing first and then sing. 22 years of service.
High school students certainly want to say to you, hip hip hooray, for helping them with the scholarship fund and helping them on the way. We salute you today. Now, in retirement, there's plenty of time to play on a Santa Barbara day. With wind and sun and sand and surf, goodbye to the VI turf. We wish you the best.
Everybody, it's my honor to be able to say a few words about Ruth. When I first met Ruth, I was a newbie in the program, and it's amazing that I get to say a few words about Ruth. She has an incredible knowledge of the VI program and the VI afflictions. She has worked for 2 years, from 1980 to 1982, at a VI resource room at Whitney. She spent the next 10 years as a stay-at-home mom. Then from 1992 to the present, she's been itinerant for the Hollywood area to the West LA area. She enjoys hearing from and staying in touch with former students, and her first students are now in their 40s and 50s. She'll be continuing with the scholarship fund after she retires at 3 o'clock on Monday. And hopefully she'll be doing more traveling, hiking, and even going to the theater on weeknights. The last 2 things she mentioned to me is that she doesn't want to have to meddle in her children's lives too much, and her favorite color is green.
So, I'm just here to earn another Nora card. This is my first Nora card. It's a Xerox copy because I didn't want to lose it. When Jason was born. And this is from when I had my brain surgery. I got the full recovery.
Wow.
That's what I'm here for. So, as this day approached, I've spent a lot of time thinking about my career. When I was an undergrad at UCLA, I volunteered to be a counselor at minicamp, and I just happened to be at the session that had some VI kids at it, and I became intrigued by them and how concepts were developed in totally blind kids. So I went to grad school at San Francisco State, and I studied under George Lee Abel in her last year, and under my hero, Phil Atman. The education classes he taught more closely resembled philosophy classes. Phil was someone who frustrated us because he never never gave us any specifics or recipes for teaching. Rather, his mantra was, every child is different. So that was a great lesson. It was a great lesson in that. Phil was someone who saw a need and developed a solution. The Hatland Center, which originally was known as the Living Skills Center, the visually impaired was his baby, and it opened the year that I started at San Francisco State. Phil could make things happen, and he continued to do that for his whole long career. So I've also been reminiscing about how much things have changed in our field. I started teaching in 1974, a year before Public Law 94-142 and the introduction of IEPs. I first taught in Simi Valley with one other teacher and a total of 18 students between us. In the 6 years I taught in Simi, the district office copy machine didn't have an enlarging capability. Because the enlarging feature was something new and it was too expensive for the district to invest in. So we had a secretary, we had a piece, a half-time secretary, I guess, who used to use a manual typewriter with large typing for us. Where am I? There were no computers. The first CCTV came out during that time, and I remember taking a student all the way to Fullerton School of Optometry to try one out. On the other hand, during these caveman days, we were fortunate to have the trust and understanding of our director of special ed. We were given so much freedom. We created a Ventura County VI Olympics. We had a snatch breakfast. We had an annual family fun day at the park. Once a week, we rounded up our students and to plan and shop and cook a dinner at the local junior high home ec room. Even with the sinks clogged up every time we went in. And once we brought in successful blind adults for a weekend career day. We took our students skiing in Tahoe, we went river rafting on the Stanislaus River every summer, and we went sailing in Marina Del Rey. So can you imagine doing all that, getting the freedom to do all that stuff? But that's what Phil Hatland's students did. So let's see. I think the first VI teacher, the LAUSD VI teacher I ever spoke with was Bonnie Rothman over the phone. Her student, an odd little boy named Eric Venable, had moved to see me. And I remember him because one day when I came to see him, he said he'd gone to the doctor. And he said, what do you think the doctor found in my nose? An eraser. Now, how do you think that got there? So in 1980, I came to LAUSD. Sandy Cohen and I had the resource room at Whitney. Nora was our O&M instructor. That's how I earned my first card. During my second year at Whitney, Joy was our assistant principal. And I left teaching in 1982, and I stayed at home for 10 years. Thanks to Sandy, she reminded Joy about my existence, and Joy called me back to work. And I've loved being an itinerant teacher ever since. So, I've had a variety of wonderful, strong, courageous, sometimes quirky students over the years who work with intelligent and creative teachers. I keep telling people that I feel lucky to have had a career that's so hard to leave. Thanks to all my teammates, especially Marcia, who's been my partner in crime and slogging through the ELT and OT courses. Lori, you've been a patient and constant support to me and my students. I hope I can come back to some of your workshops because otherwise I'm going to end up a tech zoo. Way behind the times. Tech skills. Don't want that to happen. And mostly thanks to Trina, who despite being so ridiculously overworked, has continued to make the BRC a warm and welcoming and loving home for all of us wandering itinerants, and I'm going to miss my BI family.
Ruth, We're so glad you've been a part of our visually impaired program family in the Los Angeles Unified School District.